Okay, folks, we have dipped a toe into the waters of making color-coded maps or choropleth maps. In this section, let's go ahead and do a bit of a deeper dive. Not too deep, but a bit of a deeper dive, and make a bivariate map. I'm using, as you can see, the variable pick list. If I look for population, look, I've got a mountain load of variables. Each one of these has metadata, so I can make a informed decision about whether I want to use a certain variable. And as I said in the other video, it's not just current data. You've got data over time and also projections into the future. You can look at some of the reports that say from independent evaluation agencies saying that the ESRI projections are very rigorous and scientific. So now I've got median household income and the growth rate by state. We always have to think about where did we get the data, but notice I've got growth rate and median household income. Fascinating to be able to look at these patterns and investigate the whys of where. Some states have a high median income, but the growth rate of the population is low, and conversely, some states have just the opposite thing going on. Why is that? And what does it mean? What are the implications? Relationship maps as well as color-coded maps. Let's take a look at the legend on that. So you see the different colors in the legend, so we can interpret what those two variables mean. We can change, of course, the colors. We can change the number of cells in that relationship grid if we wanted to. Right now it's a 16-cell grid, 4x4, but we can change that if we want to. But let's keep things fairly simple and go back to our standard bivariate mapping. Okay, notice that we've got some choices in the upper left. And again, with the color coding now, we've got the choropleth map going on here, and there is the graduated symbol. We've got filtering, and just like we had with single variable, now we have filtering with both of the variables. So now we can look at where median income is high and the growth rate is actually low relative to other states. So we can do this kind of thing. And we can also type in numbers in there. If we didn't want to drag and drop those little circles on the histograms, we can type in an actual value. Now we're filtering, so we're only seeing the states with high growth and high median household income. Let's go ahead and change it so we've got a relatively lower median household income and high growth. Now, isn't that interesting? Some states are the same as what we had before, and some states are different. Why would that be? But filtering is so wonderful with these histograms. You can really customize and start, oh gosh, now we've made a more stringent filter, so we're seeing fewer states now. 2023 median household income and the growth rate from 2020 to 2023, so the past 3 years on the population growth. We're going to expand that now. We're going to look at all of the states and basically take off the filter. Okay, fascinating. Now we are going down to the finer detail now, the larger scale. We're going to look at counties now. Notice it keeps our two variables as we had them before. Wow, now I see at the county level median income and the growth rate. Why do we see the patterns that we do? Notice the range of the data changes now because we're looking at not 50 polygons, but roughly 3,200 polygons, the number of counties now. And of course, the same thing would be true if we were looking at Canada or England or France. We'd be looking at administrative areas. We'd have a different range, different levels of geography. Very interesting to be able to do this. So in other words, it's not just the USA. We could look at other countries as well. And as I said in the other video, it just depends on the country and what we were able here at ESRI to obtain the data for, based on if the data was available or not, whether we could put it into Business Analyst Web App, which is what we're using right now. Okay. Median household income and the growth rate. We can switch the variables, so we're seeing the color in one variable, we could change that. And we've got some analytics right below the map, a scatter plot. You can see in the scatter plot, it's not just a graphic, it's actually a smart graphic, so we can look at the outliers. Loudoun County, Virginia. Household income is high and the growth rate is high. So that's the highest in both respects there. Santa Clara County, California. Let's look at some of these that are on the lower end. Interesting. We also have the number of counties there. We have the histograms here, so we can look at the outliers. Interesting. And look at, we can pan across and see Loving County, Texas, decreasing population, but also very low population to begin with. It's out in West Texas. 274 counties have a range between this and this. 337 have a range between, have a value between this and this. I just love being able to analyze the data. And notice as I panned across those histograms how the map changed. So you can see the actual counties that meet those criteria that you've panned across the histogram. That's really wonderful to have. To me, the junction of G and the I, the G being the map, the I being the information behind the map. So that's the power of modern GIS, is to look at these dynamically. And we've got the table of data, so we can actually, just like in Excel, we can sort on growth rate, we can sort on median household income, because those are the two variables that we're looking at. We can, of course, as you saw in the upper right there, export that table into Excel for some further analysis. Okay, so now I'm looking at the Eastern Plains in Colorado, looking at the growth rate. Fascinating. We can save that layer. So much more we can do, but I hope that's intriguing enough for you to try bivariate mapping on your own. Thanks.